Welcome back everyone to Blackthornprod. I'm Noah. Now, a week ago I launched a video where I transformed cool game dev / design YouTubers into game characters. For example, I created an elf warrior version of Saiku, an undead Brachy's Lish, and a Count Sebastian wizard. The positive response to that video was incredible, and receiving feedback from YouTubers whom I really respect and who have inspired me on my game dev journey was awesome. Just look at that, all these awesome creators in one place. So yeah, that project was a blast to work on. It was only right that I make episode 2, where once again I'll transform some more amazing YouTubers into epic game characters. With that said, let's get started. So the first YouTuber I transformed for this video was Adam Millard, the architect of games. This cool guy makes wonderful video essays about game design. They're inspiring and insightful pieces that make me fall in love with the world of games a little bit more every time. Plus there's this cool little dude, the channel's mascot, that pops in occasionally. So I began as usual with the rough sketch of the character. If you've seen a few of my tutorials on game art, you'll know that at this point I'm trying to come up with visual ideas and asking myself the question, what would a Adam Millard game character look like? And so I ended up turning the little hooded character into a sort of wizard, pondering a piece of parchment on the floor with thick books by his side. I gave him a pencil, compass, and ruler, because well, it's Adam Millard, the architect of games, after all. So this is how I imagine Adam making his videos looks like, through magic, some maths, and bizarre rituals. Once the outline complete, I added some color. This is the process I always go through when making 2D, cartoony style characters. Sketching, inking, and then colouring. Then if I'm animating the creation in Unity, I'll make sure to separate all sprites I wish to move independently on a new Photoshop file, which I'll then import inside of the game engine. Once my wizard / architect version of Adam Millard was set up in Unity, I began dressing up the scene, adding a few soft shapes for lighting, as well as some post-processing effects using Unity's post-processing stack. At this point, however, I didn't really like Adam's look. Something about the colours wasn't right, so I decided to turn the mysterious hooded architect into an evil-looking thing with red, gleaming horns. I then changed the background to some deep, ominous red, and added a vignette effect to make the borders of the scene dark and sinister. That already felt a lot better. It was then time to make the character's animations using Unity's animation timeline, simply moving, rotating, and scaling different body parts across that timeline. To finish up this piece, I created a simple fire particle effect using Unity's particle system, and then duplicated that around Adam and his magic scroll, books, and tools, forming a spooky, blazing circle. I wasn't really happy with the look of the flames. And so with the help of a great tutorial by Sir Hyan Arts, I was able to make something a lot cooler and believable. And so yeah, here's the final result. It was then time for me to tackle extra credits. This is an amazing channel filled to the brim with illustrated videos about games, from design and art to marketing and more. They also have inspiring videos about history told in a fun, interesting way, as well as sci-fi culture and mythology. I must admit, turning this team of amazing creators into game characters was tough. At first I dreamed up a fat, grotesque king, picking up terrorized, squishy extra credits characters and stuffing them inside of his head, trying to fill himself up with lots of knowledge and fun. Two things which extra credits provide lots of with their videos. The story was pretty interesting, and I actually went through the trouble of colouring and animating this character, which took me a good 2 hours, but after showing the final result to my brother, we both admitted that it didn't fit the extra credits world. So back to step 1, sketching. I decided I would use Unity's sprite mask tool, like I did during Halloween for my little game The Other Side. My idea was to basically have one side of a drawing with normal looking extra credits characters, and the sprite mask would reveal another side to this picture, a group of sci-fi and fantasy style characters. The wizards to illustrate their videos on games, the Bloodthirsty Barbarian for the Extra History series, and the Space Explorer for Extra Sci-Fi. Now, if you want to learn more about how sprite masks work, note that I have a video on the topic. To conclude, I'm really happy with the end result. I think it encompasses really well what extra credits is all about. A place of learning in a really cool way, created by normal people who bring to life fantasy lands, monsters, ancient battles, mythical locations, and lots more. Coming up next we have Noclip, which is a channel filled with top-notch quality video game documentaries, from in-depth looks at how the indie masterpieces Spelunky and The Witness were made, to behind the scenes on the creation process of The Witcher, Doom and lots more. I began as usual with the sketching phase. I pictured Daniel Dwyer, the founder of Noclip, writing down all that a legendary, epic looking video game character was telling him. Because in short, that's what Noclip are doing, traveling the world and talking with fascinating game developers, and then sharing the stories that come out from those interviews with the rest of the world. So in this scene, Danny is an adventurer scribbling down on a long piece of parchment all the secrets and wisdom of a Skyrim dragon, which is a wink in the direction of his great documentary on the history of Bethesda Game Studio. At some point I also added Skyrim-like letters to the background, but ended removing those. It cluttered the scene a bit. I also grabbed the cool fire effect made for Adam Millard, the architect of games, and added it to my Noclip scene, tweaking it slightly and ending up with a roaring fire between the brave, curious adventurer and the dragon. It just made the scene more lively and interesting. I then moved on to Heartbeast. Benjamin, creator of Heartbeast, is a calm, really cool guy who has made an enormous amount of really neat videos on pixel art and Game Maker. Feeling inspired by the name Heartbeast and his logo, I decided I would make a silhouette style creature with a bright, glowing red heart pumping at the center of his body. Since Benjamin is a calm, seemingly relaxed guy, I felt it was fitting that the creature would also be chilled and non-aggressive. So I ended up making a large furry monster standing atop a hill. As usual, using Unity's animation timeline, I made a simple idle animation, with the red heart pumping passionately to illustrate Benjamin's logo, of course, as well as his clear love for teaching and sharing his game dev journey with others. I also got the character holding a red pixel art flower, a nod in the direction of Benjamin's large collection of pixel art tutorials. And finally, it was time to transform myself, Noa Calice, creator of Blackthornprod, into a game character. Now, this was really hard. Should I transform myself into a pale, vampire-like villain, a wizard summoning various mascots, a powerful warrior? I honestly stayed stumped for a few hours figuring out what would fit me best. Finally, I shifted my focus from what would look cool to who would I like to become if I could be transformed into a game character. Thinking back on one of my favorite games, Hollow Knight, I remembered the amazing Paintmaster Shio, a large bug who wields paintbrush-like weapons. In my opinion, this character is epic, an artist warrior. That's who I decided to become. So as you can see from the final sketch, I am standing atop a small planet, wink in the direction of my love for tiny worlds. I'm also flanked by two artist warrior disciples. They basically represent my mascots, as well as aspiring game developers who I've been able to help out with my channel and games. I made everything very colourful and bright. I wanted my game character counterpart to seem happy and proud to be wielding a powerful golden paintbrush weapon. Once in Unity, I animated myself as well as my artistic disciples and added some rays of sunlight using soft shapes. I then decided that 2 disciples wasn't enough, so I added 4 more, making the world feel a bit more alive and interesting. And like with all the other characters, I added a simple little particle effect to the scene to add an extra layer of life and appeal. So all in all, I'm happy with what I came up with. It's basically the representation of the community I'm trying to create. One that is passionate and has a deep love for game creation. And there you have it, 5 YouTubers turned into game characters using Photoshop for the arts and Unity for animations and some special effects. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments what's your favorite creation and who would win, me the godlike paint warrior or Adam Millard's the sinister architect of games, Noclip the adventurer or the mysterious Heartbeast. Anyway, here's also a reminder that this weekend there takes place Ludum Dare 43, which for those of you who don't know is an awesome game creation event that challenges developers to make a game in 48 to 72 hours and around a given theme. If you've never done it before and have some free time this weekend, definitely give it a try. This will be my 4th Ludum Dare, and this time I'll be collaborating with another great game dev YouTuber called Sam, also known as Saiku. I'm really excited about it, and of course you can expect a behind the scenes video about that experience sometime next week. Okay, thanks so much for watching the video. Here's an extra thank you to these awesome people who support me and my content via Patreon. In particular Joseph, your brother, who does some awesome streams on Twitch, and Couchferret, who, by the way, also runs a really cool game dev YouTube channel. Definitely check that out. Alright, stay tuned. Best of luck for those taking part in Ludum Dare. Cheers.